We have to have someone in Washington that is willing to take on the cause and make veterans a priority. And Bruce Lunsford is that candidate for me, and I want him to be that candidate for you. Ladies and gentlemen, your next United States Senator, Bruce Lunsford.
Well, first of all, these are people I've known a long time, and I think that the best thing you could do in one of these races is let people know what you've been about. And I think you could take any career and selectively pick things to discuss. And generally speaking, in political campaigns, an awful lot is discussed about little things in your life or small parts of your life instead of the whole picture. But I go back with Julian Carroll. When I joined government as a young kid, I was 30 years old. And Julian Carroll taught me the budget so that I was able to handle the legislative session for John Y. Brown in 1980. A session that with his help and guidance, we made very successful. We had one of the most progressive, one of the most progressive legislative sessions in history, in the sense that we got our large economic development package passed. We changed the way we tax the gas in this state that gave us a budget that could grow. We were able to actually deliver a lot of efficiencies that allowed us, in one of the roughest economic periods in history, interest rates went to 24%. We were able to create jobs all over this state. Bowling Green became a beacon at that time. And there was a guy here by the name of Harold Huffman. Some of you may even remember Harold, who was really was the picture-perfect economic development lead in any area in this state. And when people would come to me and say, "What would you do locally?" I said, "I'd go down and spend 2 days with Harold Huffman. He'll teach you more in 2 days than anybody else can teach you all over this state." And whether it was Bowling Green's plant that got started in Julian's administration, or whether later some of the other things that developed along that industrial corridor out here, that Bowling Green has been able to take advantage of Western Kentucky University, which is a backbone, its education system that allows you to train people, to develop people. And I can tell you from running 3 large companies in my lifetime, that if you don't have the education system near you where you get the talent you need, then you're not going to be successful. And so Western Kentucky has done a tremendous job for this community. And if you had to look at any singular asset, you will find next to its people, Western Kentucky University has been the reason it has succeeded. Education made a difference in my life. I grew up on a small farm. I spent 5 years of my life without indoor plumbing. And my dad every day said, "Get educated, get educated." And I love basketball and I love baseball. I didn't want to study. I wanted to do that. And my dad said, "That will not last a lifetime. Your education will." And as a result of my education, going to undergraduate school, going to law school, I was able to do other things in my life, and it was a great separator. So you really are lucky in this town to have a university the quality of Western Kentucky University, and got a tremendous president out there right now, and I love the way things are working there. And that's kind of more governor stuff than Senate stuff. But I want to talk about this couple because we live very close to each other. We see each other quite often. And in fact, I have grandchildren that are around the same age. That their two children are, my 2 oldest grandchildren are almost in the same age. And so I understand the challenges that everybody has today raising their children. And we want them to have that American dream. And Steve and I, we did run against each other. But you saw a race where Democrats, tried to, we pledged to run a straight up campaign, and we pledged to run a campaign that was about what the Democrats could offer, and as a result, we came out of that primary 20 points ahead for Steve Beshear, and that's about what he won by. And it's time all of us got up in arms and protected our veterans, because I was around during the Vietnam era. And I served in the Army Reserves, and I served in the National Guard at that time, and I watched soldiers come back and be mistreated by this country. We can't let that happen in this case. And only the Democrats are going to protect these veterans. They're not going to protect a bunch of political philosophy that takes care of the upper crust of this country. And only those that have already lived the American dream are getting to have a better dream. Everybody else has been closed out of the system, just like they're foreclosing people out of their homes. It's time for a better day. It's time to stop what's happening. And I am honored and humbled that people like the 3 behind me have chosen this campaign and this candidate as the one who can make Mitch answer the questions that everybody wants to hear. Mr. McConnell has run a $4 million campaign against tall grass the last 4 months, and he can't get above a 48% approval rating. This is the time to have change. After 24 years, what have you gotten? Dr. Phil would say, how's that working for you? It's time to move on, and I want to be involved, and I want to be the agent that carries your message, because this race is not about Bruce Lunsford. This is not about just Democratic politics. This is about Mitch McConnell, and it's time to send him home. And I can't wait for the opportunity beginning May 21st to get that. I ask you for your support and your vote, and thank you for today, and thank Bowling Green for all they do for Kentucky. Thank you very much.